belaying bodies. So going back to like that idea what the pose with the log or the spear, the other shapes in the beginning, same kind of principle. When it's laying off this body, so it's a blanket or something. All these creases where it's just overlapping, layering and layering, and then maybe some points where it hits the ground, it does these kind of things where it'll tuck in. Oh man, crap. Sometimes it'll do creases where it'll do that. This is the ground. You'll have part of it come up and then another one overlap like that. It looks something like that. You just have these folds, and but overall, it's kind of like that. Just keep overlapping. The thing you want to do is you never want to put like a line like that. Like you don't want to make too many lines going like that or that, because then it doesn't look like cloth anymore. And that's the thing. Like you just want to follow whatever shape going back. And sometimes, like I was saying, see, that'll be like an overlap, or maybe this is tucking under, this cloth's tucking under this other fold, and this fold right here might be coming above another fold, which is forming. And you have all these little overlaps as soon as it hits the ground. Kind of like so. And then this. What I was mentioning before is, though, this is in the foreground. This is closer to you. So this line is going to be overlapping that line. That's kind of how you make the 3D effect, is just the way lines overlap. But you can really just mess around, get crazy with the cloth you do and just practice. I mean, it takes a lot of time. This I did different. Pretend in this example there's like a strap here. I want to do this. So the cloth in this case, here's the neck. It's going to be kind of bundling up. I'm trying to think. So in this case, where it's touching this, it's going to maybe crease up more. You might have more shapes like this where the cloth itself is starting to bunch up and do things in that sense. It's becoming more ridges because this is pushing down on the cloth. On the other side it might follow like more random kind of patterns, like so, where it's something like that. And here's again another arm. So in this case, this arm's coming towards you again. The cloth is going to be pulled down like so, and you're going to have creases. So crease, crease. Let's make this an open sleeve this time. So sometimes when an open sleeve, it'll look something like this. And the hand's coming out. So kind of like this. And then here's another pose for two knees and one's going back. I'm going to do this in drapery this time. So going back to the two points in the beginning, those two kind of posts where it drapes. Same idea as like it's coming down. It's a big cloth, like a Roman thing. Back in those times, it would be just interlapping like that, where it'll come, and then sometimes you'll see lines like this, bunching up where it's overlapping. When it gets to the knee, because the knee kind of goes straight down, it's going to kind of come more like this, where they'll be easy and you won't really see too many lines here. But as for, in terms of this view though, it's going to recess. So the cloth is going to go back into space like that. It'll open up like something like that. And all this will be darker in here. So something like that. But just keep practicing. Some of these aren't the best examples. I could make it more cleaner, but it's just an idea for you to get more familiar with kind of like the folds, the way they overlap, things like that. So one more thing, I'm just going to draw without anything behind the subject. Just a few more tips. So number one with cloth, you always follow these lines. You know, these basic lines where the cloth are moving. So remember lines, remember overlapping. So say if some cloth is coming off of a knee, like we just did kinda, but to make it more interesting, to make it more dynamic, there could be another layer of cloth that overlaps this, like so, and that layer of cloth is coming down over that layer, something like this. And then maybe this cloth is coming in down here, the other knees maybe right here, and it's gonna, all these layer cloths are gonna go back. So remember that. You're making it look dynamic. You still have this cloth. I feel like I've been saying cloth 50 billion times. You know what I mean? So like that. And like more folds, and then multiple layers. Like say when it hits the ground, it doesn't have to be, it can be like, you can make different variations. You can style it like maybe for the outline like that, and so it looks almost like very fancy in the way it's done. Something like that where the creases are coming out. Sometimes, you know, it gets to the end, it'll do a little up curve. Something like that. So there's a knee. There's a knee. Another example I want to do is